Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 852 days, Ukraine defends itself against the forces of the Russian invasion. In his evening video address, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelenskyy informed that he held a meeting with the military leadership, the Commander-in-Chief, the Chief of the General Staff, and the Minister of Defense. They discussed the situation in key areas on the front line, with the main focus on the Donetsk region and supplying Ukrainian forces with everything they need. The president informed that he decided to replace the commander of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Lieutenant General Yuri Sodol, with Brigadier General Andriy Ignatov. Zelenskyy did not specify the reason for the dismissal, but on 24th of June it was revealed that Bogdan Krotevich, Chief of Staff of the Azov Brigade of the National Guard, had filed a request with the State Bureau of Investigation calling for an investigation into Lieutenant General Sodol due to heavy losses of personnel. Suspilny informed that Krotevich has accused the general of abuse of power and incompetent command of the troops, leading to the loss of a large part of Ukraine's territory, and requested an investigation into the commander's potential collaboration with Russia. The Azov Chief of Staff also said he was prepared to testify in the case. Quote, "It bothers me that they convict battalion and brigade commanders for the loss of an observation post, but they don't convict a general for the loss of oblasts and dozens of cities and thousands of soldiers." Unquote. Newly appointed Andriy Ignatov is a former head of staff and deputy commander of Operational Command Pivden. In the spring of 2023, he was in charge of the defense of the city of Bakhmut. Before serving in Operational Command Pivden, he led the 36th Marine Brigade, formed of units previously stationed in Crimea. Ignatov himself served in Crimea before it was occupied by Russia. The Russian forces fired 2 Iskander-M missiles on Pokrovsk, Donetsk Oblast yesterday, reports NVUA. They hit a civilian infrastructure facility and a residential area. At least 5 people were killed and 41 injured in the result of the strike. Among the wounded are 4 children, a boy aged 12 and girls aged 9, 11 and 13. One house was destroyed and another 16 damaged. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you are listening to this podcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. Power outages continue all over Ukraine, and recently they've become more severe. Serhiy Kovalenko, CEO of the electricity supplier Yasno, said that the Ukrainian energy system is critically lacking in domestic electricity generation due to the shelling of the Russians. Imports, which are at their maximum, do not solve this problem, reports Ekonomichna Pravda. According to him, Ukraine is currently dependent on solar and wind generation, so there are significant fluctuations even within a single day. Currently, preventive repair work is underway at nuclear power plants. Therefore, some power units do not work. In addition to the generation problems, there is an increase in consumption. Kovalenko predicts that the deficit situation will be difficult in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just 2 people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.